Hello! Welcome back to another episode in another day of the Sir Purrcast. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about the trade in the 2023 offseason that got the Panthers Bryce Young. And just about like the benefits and like outcomes of that trade. A little bit about the Bears side, not so much about the Bears side, but like just like about the Bears side in the case of like what we gave up, not really about like what happened to the Bears players or like and before doing this. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say besides let's get right into it. So the Bryce Young trade was a trade. I think the Panthers had the number 9 pick. And the Bears had the number 1 pick at the time. And the Bears were coming off of a season. Obviously they had the number 1 pick. They were not the most successful. But they had like their guy at the time, which was like Justin Fields. And in a very quarterback stacked draft class, they didn't really need the number 1 pick because they could comfortably know that a lot of quarterbacks are going to take it early. So they were very much looking to trade down. And the Panthers were coming off a season where they were literally 1 game away. Any other game that if they won one more game that season, they would have made the playoffs. 1 game away from making the playoffs in 2022. And to be honest, Sam Darnold was playing well. I don't know why we were looking for a quarterback. Obviously, we didn't have like a franchise guy, but I don't think that was the year to rebuild. Obviously, I'm happy about it now, but like, I'm not sure if that was the right decision. But we didn't have like a sure franchise guy, but we were coming off a season which Sam Darnold was playing pretty well in my opinion. So, and when you were looking to trade up to the number 1 pick, we wanted a quarterback because we thought, we almost made the playoffs this year. We just need 1 quarterback to take us to the next step. And so we pulled the trigger on the Bryce Young trade. We traded for the number 1 overall pick. That was the only thing we got. And in exchange, we traded we traded away, honestly, our best player at the time because we no longer had Christian McCaffrey. We traded away our best player in wide receiver, DJ Moore. A first-round pick, our like 2023 first-round pick, our 2023 second-round pick, our 2024 first-round pick, which ended up being number 1, and our 2022 second-round pick, or 2025 second-round pick, which ended up being number 39. So the Bears were able to get 5 players, and then probably more because they traded the other players that they got in DJ Moore for picks because they recently traded DJ Moore to the Bills. But we're not really here to talk about the Bears side. I just want to bring up what keeping some of these picks. I think we gave up way too much. Way too much. If you take out both of the seconds or one of the first, if you take out the 2024 first and make it a 2024 second, and then like a 2025 like fourth, I think, or even 2025 fourth, I think that's a much better deal that helps both teams. I think that the Bears most likely would have accepted because at the time they were getting offers that were just picks, no players, and they wanted a player. And if you're going to offer up your best player, I think you can, I think they cared more about the player than the picks if you're going to offer up your best player. especially because that was one of the primary needs that the Bears needed, especially because they wanted to help out their young quarterback. I think we definitely oversold on the trade a little bit, or even a lot. Just looking back on it. At the time, I was super excited. I had the right to be. Obviously, getting a first-round pick is super excited, but I was also just excited to see us taking action. I feel like a lot of NFL teams that haven't really been successful since they've had haven't really been successful or haven't made the playoffs in a long time, like the Colts. They haven't really taken the action they've needed. They've always just kind of like, sat around, done well. They have a good amount of talent. They're never able to go to the next level because they're not aggressive enough in free agency or in the offseason. They don't take enough risks. But I'm glad the Panthers did. Because at least that shows that, we're trying, we're being aggressive. Again, I think we gave a little bit too much. I think we could have gotten away with at least one more first, which would have helped substantially, considering if we had that 2024 first round. Having the record that we had in 2023, we would have had the number 1 overall pick. But can't change it anymore. But part of the reason the Panthers were so successful was because of DJ Moore. And I think giving him up, along with a bunch of players that we lost in the offseason, especially not having McCaffrey, which we didn't have when we were actually doing well last season. That season really did not help Bryce Young at all. And, we did make some signings, but defensively, we did not have any depth at all. And offensively, we're lacking in receiver because we didn't really have any receiver depth. We traded for Adam. We got Adam Thielen, which was a very good pick. But we didn't really have anything, and then we didn't have picks to draft one of the top guys, which would have been Jackson Smith and Jigma. He went like top 10 or something like that, but like it would have been one of the good guys in that draft. But because of that, you're not gonna know if a coaching staff is gonna pan out. You can only hope. You're gonna make educated guesses, and there are some surefire things. There are some things you can do to be sure, but at the end of the day, it just might not be the right fit. And I think that coaching staff absolutely was not the right fit for Carolina. Just everybody that was on the team, obviously, besides, Evero, the GOAT. But everyone that was on that team, and in terms of the coaching staff, the main guys, Scott Furter, I want him out of there. Genuinely, I was pretty frustrated with Scott Furter at that time. But Frank Reich, I have a lot of respect for him. First ever quarterback in Panthers history to ever take a snap. I guess first quarterback to take a snap at Panthers. And then offensive coordinator. It was some Rams running back, something like that. I don't know. I think he used to work for the Rams. I kind of forget his name. I'm gonna look it up right now. Offensive coordinator 2023. It was Brown, right? Yeah, Thomas Brown. Yeah, Thomas Brown. That's what I thought. See, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm happy forgetting the last name. And then images. Yep, did used to be Rams. Yeah, that's pretty. I feel like that's decent. And because of all those factors, obviously Bryce Young did not have the season that they wanted him to. And everyone was just making that trade a bust. Myself, obviously, I always had hope, but at the time, I was a bit less optimistic, especially with. Sorry, just drinking water. Not having a first round pick. but we were able to keep Adam Thielen, sign Deontay Johnson, and draft Xavier really got trading up for him. So our receiver room was looking a little bit better. And then obviously the two massive off-season additions we made. Massive off-season additions we made to really secure that O-line, because wow, was our O-line atrocious in 2023. And Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis. One sec, just gonna pause it really quickly. Alright, we're back. So there's a lot of optimism. I was super optimistic. And honestly, I was really surprised when the first pass Bryce Young threw in 2024 was an interception. Obviously, it went down for Hill from there for week 1 and week 2. And oh my god, I forgot to talk about Dave Canales. We fired everyone. Got new coaching staff, Dave Canales, new GM, Dan Morgan, which has been great so far. And Dave Canales, known for reviving quarterbacks, so again, optimistic about that. But Dave Canales actually made a very swift decision to bench Bryce, which was honestly, I think, perfect. His entire career, up until then, in college, he sat behind Mac Jones. In high school, who did he sit behind? Something Andrew. Oh, something Andrew. Who did he sit behind in high school? Yeah, I swear, bro. Andrew Trovar. So, it's his first name. High school sat behind Andrew Trovar, Cathedral. And that really allowed him to develop and, learn the game, adjust to the speed. But he never really got that, so I think those 5 games where he was benched was a really golden opportunity for him, and he absolutely made the most of that. And that was, the best choice he could for his career. No, obviously when he got benched, Bryce, he got into his car and started driving. He put Atlanta in the GPS, but, he didn't actually go to Atlanta. He was in, a tough place mentally. But his strong mental health, taught from his parents, and everything he's learned, was able to overcome that. And he challenged himself to be the same person. And I think a lot of people, their first overall pick, they've been praised the whole year, they hit a wall in their career, they just give up. But Bryce Young didn't give up, he kept going. Honestly, knowing Bryce, he probably worked even harder. And he got that number 1 job back. In the Bears game where he started a little bit, after we were down big, he looked really good. I think he led a pretty good drive. I think it stalled out or something like that. Yeah, because we just went for it on 4th and 7. Or no, did we just kick a field goal? I'm not sure. I don't really remember that much. I want to say we kicked a field goal. No, I want to say we stalled on 4th and 7. But I'm not too sure. But we came out of the bench, and then, Jalen Coker, that was huge. Looked so much better, and everyone was and he's basically developed in the Bryce thing we did today. With, the 5 touchdown game against Atlanta. That should have been game-winning touchdown against Tampa Bay. If it weren't for A, our defense allowing them to score a field goal, and then B, Chuba Hubbard fumbling. But then back-to-back wins in week 9 and 10 to get the starting job back. And just showing his clutchness throughout that entire season was, I think, really huge. Just his ability to lead game-winning drives, just so confident. And then, we had some big pieces back. We didn't have Derek Brown for the whole season. But we did have J.C. Horn back. And that showed for sure. But there are definitely some things to brush up in the offseason. We did. We selected our first real wide receiver one, which was McMillan. And we really kept a healthy defense this year. When healthy, I think our defense is really good. Obviously, the pass rush isn't necessarily. But when healthy, our defense I think is quite strong. And obviously, we saw major improvement. I think the first 2 weeks, the first week once again, it was a slow start. I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw that this year. I'm expecting just even better. I always am. I'm always optimistic. But also just the way Bryce has played, I think he's going to be amazing this year. I think he's going to come out fast. But I would not be surprised if we started 0-2, because we tend to. But again, we're at home. Coming off of, I think the environment's going to be electric. I think we're going to be ready. We're going to be excited. I think we're going to win, but that's all unrelated. But we really picked up speed. 3 straight games for the first time since 2022. And then obviously, all of the comeback clutch performances. Only 2 wins we had this year that Bryce Young didn't lead a game-winning drive, which says a lot about him, but also just our team allowing that to happen. Or our team not being able to pull away, and also just that. But I think a lot of the times that we actually did have a game-winning drive, we put up 30. It happened in the Falcons, Cowboys, and Rams games. 3 of the times, we put up a good amount of points, which I feel like that was somewhat on the defense. But then again in the Packers, and there were some missed opportunities against the Bucs, but there were some refereal issues. The Dolphins, we put up 27. So I feel like that was on both. You don't have to allow a 42-yard touchdown to Jalen Waddle, or 44-yard, but you also don't have to go down 17 points. And which was, I think, primarily the offense. But nonetheless, we go to the playoffs. And Bryce Young, he played super good in the playoffs too. He played super good in the playoffs. And then that earns him the 5th year. He's top 100 in the NFL. It's awesome. And I think the impact of the Bryce Young trade, I think we won the trade. I think Bryce Young is super, super high upside. He's going to lead us to a Super Bowl one day. I guarantee it. I'm really confident in him. I think we won the trade because of that. I trust in Bryce. Obviously, only getting 1 player, but it could have been. If we selected anyone else, it wouldn't have been the same. But it led us to a playoffs, which is just amazing. And for that reason, I think we won. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep pounding. See you guys.